In this video, we're going to be setting up DMARC, DKIM, and SPF with Zoho Mail, and I'll be using GoDaddy as the DNS provider, but they're all basically the same. So first step, I'd highly recommend checking to see which records you already have. You can use a tool such as the domain check tool. I'll put a link in the description. You just type in your domain. So for this one, I'm using DMARC demo, and we can see what existing records we already have. This is important because you don't want to have duplicate records. So we can see here, scrolling down, there is no DMARC record, so good to know. If we scroll down to the SPF record, we can see I already have one. So that means we need to edit the existing SPF record instead of creating a new one. And I'll show what that looks like when we get there. And then if we scroll down, we can see no DKIM records were found. So cool, now we can get started. We know we already have an SPF record, so we're going to be editing the SPF record, but I'll also show what it looks like to create a new SPF record. And we need to create a DMARC record and a DKIM record because I don't have those already. So in the dashboard, let me zoom in a little bit. We can see we're trying to set up these records for dmarcdemo.com. First, we're going to go to domains. Then we'll click on the domains. We'll go to email configuration. We can see the MX records are already set up. First up is SPF. So we can go here, we'll click the value. I really like that Zoho Mail shows both what it would look like to replace the entire value and the edited version. So since we already have an SPF record, we want to use the one where they edited our record and added the new one. So we already had include spfprotection.outlook.com. This is our existing record, and you can see they just added Zoho Mail in here. So this is the one we want to copy. Again, if you don't have a record, you're just going to use this blank one, which is just v equals SPF1, include Zoho Mail, and the all qualifier. So we're going to copy this SPF record, and we're going to go to the GoDaddy panel. Like I said, since we already had one, we're going to edit the existing record. So I'll go here, we'll click edit, and we'll replace with the value we copied. The rest looks correct. It is a text record. It'll be at the root. We set the TTL for 1 hour and we hit save. If we didn't already have one, instead within your DNS provider, you're just going to click add new record. You would go down to text. You would do @ and then you would paste in that value and then you would click save. But we already have one, so we're not going to create two. Once we've done that, we can click verify, see if it's there. It's not live yet. Sometimes it can take 30 minutes or an hour, or even a couple of days, depending on your DNS provider. Next, we'll do DKIM, and then we'll go back in a bit. So for this one, this is this DKIM selector. So we're going to copy this. And again, we're just going to create another DNS record. We knew we didn't have any DKIM keys, so we don't have to worry about creating duplicates or anything. But we're going to go here. Let me cancel this. We'll create a new one. So it is a new record. DKIM is also of type text. This time it's going to be zmail._domain key. You don't want to type in your domain here. So dmarcdemo.com would be wrong. You don't want this. You only want the beginning of the domain. Then we need to copy the value. So we'll go back to Zoho Mail. We'll copy this. We'll paste it here and we'll click save. Next, we can verify, but it's probably not ready yet. Oh, it is ready. Cool. So we can see we set that one up correctly. And last is DMARC. So DMARC is the policy that sits on top of SPF and DKIM, and it specifies what should happen when an email doesn't pass neither SPF nor DKIM. And it also enables reporting, so we can see the status of which emails are being sent and which emails are being blocked. So cool. So Zoho provides this nice little wizard so we can build out a policy. So the first choice we need to make is action to be taken when DMARC validation fails. The default is do nothing to emails. I agree with this. Eventually you want to move to quarantine or rejecting. So again, if an email doesn't pass SPF or DKIM, you can reject it, meaning the email will not be delivered, or you can quarantine it, meaning the email would be sent to spam. I would recommend starting with do nothing until you've validated that everything is set up and working correctly. Otherwise, legitimate email from your business will be blocked and your customers will not receive it. The way we check is using reporting, which is the next field. So this is the aggregate notification email address. So DMARC has this really cool feature where they will let you know where emails are being sent from and if they pass or fail DMARC, SPF, and DKIM. And when they do, they will send you these reports in XML to whatever email address you put here. To see what one of these reports looks like, it looks like this. This is just a big XML document. Normally you won't read these manually, but just kind of showing what they actually look like. We can see we have a source IP address. So 3 emails were sent from this IP address, and it passed DKIM, SPF, and this means that it passed DMARC. So we know that those were working correctly. If we scroll down, we can see that 4 emails were sent from this IP address. But unfortunately, it failed DKIM, it failed SPF, and it was rejected by DMARC. Actually, in this case, this is good. This is actually a spammer. You can do an IP lookup on this to see that it's a spammer, and so I'm actually happy it was blocked. But anyways, those are what the reports look like. So if you want to collect those, you can put in an email address like itadmin plus dmarc@dmarcdemo.com, something you control. And again, it'll every 24 hours, each mailbox provider, like Google, Yahoo, Zoho, Apple, all those people, they will email this email address with a report with all the emails that they've seen so far from your domain, and just give you that status. Even if you don't plan on reading them now, it's still a good idea to start collecting them just so you can look at your emails once you detect an issue. Like, if an employee at your company is like, hey, emails aren't being delivered, you can start digging into these reports. And there's online tools where you can drag and drop your XML reports, and it'll let you know the configuration of things and what are failing. The other option you have for this is using a vendor. So DMARC Defender, the company I work for, we are a vendor. And so what we do is we collect these reports for you. So you put in your email, you put in our email address. And what we're going to do is we're going to collect all those reports. We're going to analyze the XML, parse them, clean them up. And then we provide little dashboards if you want the dashboards. So to understand what email is passing, what email is failing. And more importantly, we just let you know if something is broken. We tell you hey, this sender is not configured correctly. You need to add this to your SPF record or something like that. And you can get everything fixed and making sure everything's running smoothly. So again, check us out. We have very affordable pricing, in my opinion. We also have a free tier, and yeah, we do all the heavy lifting here. So yeah, if you used us, you'd put our email address here. You just sign up for a free account. Very simple. The next is the forensics notification email. I'm a little bit surprised they still offer this. Not too many people are using forensics, but it's here. So again, you can put forensics emails as detailed reports of what happens when a specific email fails. Not too many people actually send these anymore, but it's there. So you can do forensics or something like that. Again, or you can put the DMARC Defender email address. Next, what should happen for subdomains? Very similar to the main domain. Again, I would recommend do nothing until you're ready. Once you've actually looked at these reports and you're certain that everything is working smoothly, then you can put it into quarantine or eject, but I wouldn't do that right off the bat. Next is the policy percentage. I'd recommend just putting at 100. And then for alignment and for SPF and DKIM, I do relaxed for both. Strict doesn't really give you that much more unless you're in a very weird circumstance. And if you are in that weird circumstance where you have customers that are emailing from your domain through subdomains, you can just use relaxed. And I wouldn't worry about that for most people. Cool. So we'll click generate. And we'll scroll back up and we have our DMARC policy. So for this one, it's just _DMARC. We'll copy this and we'll go back to our GoDaddy. So it was _DMARC. I just copied and pasted, and we'll click save. Now we go back. It's probably not ready yet. We'll wait. So let's see if the SPF was propagated. SPF is all set up. We can verify the DMARC again. It's not quite there, and we're all set. So at this point, you're all done. You have set up DKIM, SPF, and DMARC on your domain. Again, I'd recommend checking these reports out just to make sure that all of your email is being sent correctly and everything is passing SPF and DKIM, but otherwise, you're good to go. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave it below or email me at stuart@dmarcdefender.io. Always happy to help, and cheers.